Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Petal's Perspectives. And today I have a special guest. His name is my friend. This is my friend, my good friend. His name is Troy. Say hi, Troy.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
And I invited Troy here today to talk about some very important issues. One of them is, well, you tell us, Troy. You know how you always talk to me about your son and about how he's very different from you because he's from a new generation. And you kind of don't understand him sometimes. So, what was one of the things he was telling you the other day with the racist thing? Um, Tell us about that. How he was talking to you, he called you racist.
Well, I mean, my son is 33. I'm 57. So what is that? A 10 year, 15 year gap? What is that?
What?
I said my son is 33. I'm 58.
Oh, 33, 58. That's about 20 years, something like that.
About 20 years. So when you talk about racism, how does that play a part in his life and mine?
Very differently.
Why do you think that though? Because we still on the earth, we still go through the same thing, but you got to go through something first, right? You have to be entertained by I don't know, it's an intercourse with the cops. Or go through something that's going to make you feel uncomfortable, and ain't got nothing to do with you, just because you black. So,
He's saying that you had to have met that energy. So tell us what happened that day that you what energy did you meet? Why he asked you when he said that to you?
well, I brought to his attention that I haven't had the pleasure of being around white people as much as he has as a young man, and it makes a different visual when you think about life. Because when you feel like they're in your corner and they support you, it's a good feeling. But when you don't need them like that, and you do stuff by yourself as a person, you can't say what they're good and bad for based on their reaction. So he went to school with with white kids, and he moved to Florida, and he's enjoying his life down there. But he see the growth that they're doing, and he's struggling, but he don't see no wrong in it. He believed that he can be just as good as them, and maybe he can, but
And you don't see it that way?
he's been there for 5 years, so I'm trying to look at the growth. I mean, no, I'm saying he struggles, and then I don't know if that's a facade he playing. He could be lying to me about his finances. I'm like, he's doing something if he's standing there in Miami for 5 years in a rental, but he comes across, I need that. I hate to ask you, and ask him what is it for, and it's basically rent. And he's a personal trainer. He said his clientele of people are very rich, multi-millionaires, and he got about 20 clients. That's a lot of people. So when you do the math, let's say he made 20,000 a month. Your rent is 2,000.
So you wonder why he still needs money.
Yeah, like what are you doing other than doing? Because and I don't know your personal lifestyle. I don't know if I don't know. So just that disconnect with kids in this generation. They don't want to tell you a lot. They want to give you a little bit, and then you got to try to figure it out based on what you know.
And based on what you know, and let me just explain, give you some backstory. Troy apparently, from what he tells me, grew up very differently than his son. He had, he pretty much had to take care of himself. And you say your son did not grow up like that, right? You were pretty much on your own at the age of what, 16?
16.
Yeah, and your son's been a little more
Sheltered. In 27, he moved out of his mom's house.
Yeah.
And moved to Florida. So 5 years on his own, but struggling hard. Financially seems to be giving me a facade of I'm doing well, but you seem like you're not proud. But then I said I'm proud of you. But then when you come behind all that and you say, well, I need money because I gotta eat, I didn't pay my rent. It throws me off. And he got a car repost since he's been down there. So it's just a little thing. He has no kids. So that's another thing. It disturbs me. He said, Dad, what was you doing at 32? I said, I had 2 kids, you and your sister. And I had to, be a responsible person. But you have no kids and you struggle like you got 2 kids. Imagine if you did. And Dad, I ain't got rent and I got to feed the kids too. They ain't got Pampers and what. But we're not having that conversation because you don't have kids. So why are we doing that, And then when we go back and forth, he gets, I'm man,
Yeah.
It gets a little out of pocket.
Yeah, these discussions many of times. And the same thing always comes up. It's like there's a disconnect between the way Troy grew up and the way his son has been raised, and it's always probably going to be an issue. I mean, we all. I don't know what the answer would be here except like perspective taking. I think you probably have to take a little bit of your son's perspective, although I'm not sure how. And he probably has to take a little bit of yours. What do you think the solution is? Because y'all have this issue all the time.
Well, I think everyone has to go rock bottom first.
Okay.
At least one time in their life to understand the difference. He hasn't got to that point. He's been able to float above his lifestyle and maintain, but he hasn't seen the, I'm dead. I'm about to go in the street. Or I'm really not eating because I don't really have. So I just think we all got to get to a point when you're uncomfortable.
Something to be said about that. Actually, that's what they say about people who suffer from addictions, right? You have to go all the way down to the bottom until you reach a point where you say, I can't do this anymore. I had enough. So I guess it is the same concept.
Yeah. So the solution is in the problem. You have to, you have a problem so you can get a solution. He never had a problem. He just been,
That's very interesting, Troy. Yes, that is a very good point. It's like we, as humans, it's true. We don't seem to, well, not all of us. Not all of us. Some people, off the bat, they're hard workers. They're striving for the best. They're pushing ahead. And some people really need to have a major issue happen before they become responsible adults. I mean, I'm not like his son, but not like him either. Somewhere in between. My parents coddled me a lot. And they still do. But at the same time, I've always worked. I've always had a job. I graduated from college. All this other stuff. So it's a different, I don't know, it's a different dynamic. And I guess the best thing we could do as humans is for each other is try the best to be understanding and kind and just realize there's a bigger picture in it all. And eventually the lessons that we need to learn, we're going to learn. Right? One way or another. I don't know. What do you think, Troy?
Well, like you said, if you have a car, if it ain't broke, you don't fix it.
Right.
So once you break it, you take it to a mechanic and he'll tell you what's wrong. Till your life is broken, and your father gonna tell you what's wrong, you're never gonna listen until you say, well, I don't need to be fixed. I'm not broken. So it's the breaking, you have to get broken down to be fixed. And I think that's where his solution is. Understanding when you're broken, you're broken. And if you don't get fixed, it's just gonna get worse. Until they get to that point, I think that's the growth. So he has to grow as a man.
Very insightful. Troy is very insightful. I know he doesn't look like it, right? I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm signing off. Thank you.
He's very insightful. That's a good point. Like, I guess, we don't really realize what there is to be done until you get pushed to the brink, right? Like Lily. I keep telling you about her. The narcissism is real. Look at her. But until she realizes it for herself, there's nothing I can do as her mother. She just needs to go through it. I just have to bear it. Anyway, guys. Oh, by the way, I think Troy, are you single, by the way? Are you single? Troy is single to mingle, ladies.
Yes.
How can people get in touch with you, Troy?
Right now, I don't want to share that. I told you that before this game.
So unfortunately, if you're a lady and you're interested in Troy, even though he's single and ready to mingle, he's not mingling right now. So maybe that'll change and I'll give you his information. It was really nice to have you join us here today at Petal's Perspective, and we still have another minute, and this darn thing does not turn off, apparently, until the 10 comes to fruition. So do you have anything else to say, or is there some little jewel you'd like to add?
Pick God first and take care of yourself while you're on this earth, because nobody will.
Wow. Maybe some people will, but you still need to take care of yourself. At the end of the day, it's all up to you, because you never know what can happen. You always have to be prepared. That is 100% good advice. And this show. Okay, sorry guys, I cut you off by mistake because I am very technologically something. Anyway, so I'm gonna sign off. Thank you for joining us today. From me and Troy and Narcissistic Lily. Have a great night.